How's it, Dumelang? I'm back with another video essay. In this one, it's not about the history of South African cinema, but rather a speed bio video about another African filmmaking giant that have also contributed immensely to the arts. In this video, I'll not only be giving bro his flowers, but I'll also be giving you a backstory on his come up and what he's been up to lately. This multi-award winning sought after feature film director is known as Punch and Cream on Twitter, now called X, and also as Akin Aesthetic on IG.
And I've never seen anything remotely close to come out of South Africa. So joining us now is Nigerian film director, writer, and actor, best known for directing The Brave Ones, ladies and gentlemen, Akin Omotoso.
Akin Rinmula, aka Akin Omotoso, last name written and reads Toso with a SO, but it's actually pronounced Tosho with a HO, was born on November 11th, 1974 in Maiduguri, Nigeria, in the university town of Ife. Akin is the firstborn son of Bankole Ajibawi Omotoso and Margareta Lucretia Omotoso, who are no longer with us today, God rest their souls. Akin is of mixed heritage. His mom is from the Caribbean island of Barbados in the West Indies, with his dad coming all the way from the southwestern Nigeria in Akure, a capital and largest city of Ondo State. Akin is from an academically inclined and creative family background. His mom was an architect and an urban planner, and his father was a writer, professor, a public intellectual, and an actor. And this can be seen through his mise-en-scene in many of his films, his love for literature, performing on screen, and telling stories through his films. Akin's dad's work and face is memorable, iconic, and part of our childhood memory, unless you were born yesterday. Professor Cole Omotoso was known by many as the Yebo Gogo Man, becoming the face of Vodacom's mobile phone division and appearing in many of their adverts and working with the brand from early 90s until the 2000s. What a time to be alive. Akin wasn't the only one to take after his parents and follow in their footsteps, but so did his brother and sister. Akin has 4 siblings behind him: his brother Pelayo Omotoso, who is an engineer, and his little sister Yewande Omotoso, who is a novelist and an architect designer, followed by 2 other siblings from his father's second marriage, Taiwo and Olamiposi Omotoso. Young Akin grew up on the university campus of Ife because both parents worked at the university, and Akin would spend the first 2 years of his life in Nigeria. At 4 years of age, he was traveling between London and Barbados, his maternal home and grandparents' home, before staying full-time in Nigeria to complete his schooling. The Omotoso family would migrate from Nigeria and arrive in South Africa March 1992, just 2 weeks before the whites-only apartheid referendum. Cole Omotoso made the decision to move the whole family to the country after accepting an academic appointment with the University of Western Cape to become a professor of English at the university. Akin Omotoso was just 17 years old at that time and was about to finish high school when the whole family migrated to South Africa.
And we came home for holidays, and my late mom, rest her soul, she said, I remember we got back from holidays, she says, "Your father's got a job at the University of the Western Cape in South Africa. We're moving to South Africa."
Akin would later reflect on this when interviewed by an online publication, Actors Space, saying he was a bit apprehensive about moving to a country he had known for its racism. But his father had foresight and he knew South Africa would settle down, jokingly saying in another interview that they wouldn't unpack their bags just in case they had to up and leave the country had the election vote not been a yes. Young Akin would go on to complete his A-levels in South Africa but struggle with getting into university without a South African metric exemption. But that didn't stop Akin, because he would enroll in the only course at the University of Cape Town that did not require a metric exemption, the Performer's Diploma in Speech and Drama, and he got accepted into the School of Drama at the university. See, initially Akin had his mind set on completing a law degree because he was told he would make a good lawyer since he liked arguing a lot. But that would not happen unless in his movies, because bro's credits were not crediting so that he could get accepted into studying law. So what did young Akin do? The aspiring attorney had a master plan.
But then that move to South Africa also affected the rest of your life, because you didn't have our matric exemption, so you couldn't.
Yes.
You wanted to study law.
Yes. So my master plan was, I'll get in, and once I'm in, I'm going to transfer to law.
That master plan never transpired. However, the next following events would be the beginning of the making of this amazing film director we know today, who I refer to as the Professor of African Cinema. See, young Akin was not only smart but also talented, and a testament to that was that Akin went on to win the Fleur du Cap Award in 1995 for the most promising student after being cast in a play called Sunjata, directed by writer, director and drama professor at UCT, Mark Fleischman, adding Akin's name to the Dean's Merit list. Young Akin also played basketball for the varsity team, but had to stop going to practice and put it on hold because the tournaments coincided with his rehearsals and drama demanded more of his time. The young man was absolutely dedicated indeed, and making it on the Dean's Merit list of recognition affirmed the decision he had made to follow this career path, fading out any doubt he had about pursuing a drama career. Akin's interests were not only in drama and performance but also in the process of filmmaking. So Akin went on to strike a deal with the guy in charge of filming their stage performances at UCT, and the deal was to borrow the school VHS camera for a couple of days. What Akin went on to do was walk around campus filming random stuff, experimenting and practicing filmmaking on his classmates just so he can understand how the camera works. That interest and curiosity in filmmaking led to Akin's parents buying him his first camera on his 21st birthday.
I borrowed the drama school VHS video camera, and the first place I took it to was like basketball practice. I was filming my friends on the layup line, just trying to get an understanding of what this medium is and what it can do. And you know, my parents bought me a small camera as well. And when you're at the drama school, you've got actors, so bless all my classmates at that time who were happy to, like, you know, fiddle around in the dark, because I was trying to work out. I knew nothing about lights. I always thought they brought the lights later. And what you learn is that most films about filmmaking don't tell you the truth about filmmaking, you know? And so it was really this, over 3 years of being at an acting school and teaching myself and understanding this medium, this beautiful medium of film, and what it means when you put the lens this way versus that way.
After graduating from UCT, Akin shifted to television and film as his preferred medium, landing his professional television acting gig in 1998 on a popular primetime South African telenovela called Isidingo. Then followed his most memorable nationally recognized TV role as Kaya Motene on the popular primetime television soap opera Generations. Like a true student of cinema, Akin didn't just talk the talk but also went on to actually make films using his own money he had made from acting gigs, and he used it to subsidize his early short films, self-funding all of his shots from The Kiss of Milk, The Night Walkers and The Caretaker. Remember, Akin Omotoso enrolled into the School of Drama to perform on stage, if not in front of the camera, but Akin's interests lied beyond just acting because he didn't want to become a starving artist. Akin recalls being in varsity and seeing his favorite actors waiting tables because jobs in the industry were scarce. So he devised a backup plan to not only write but act and direct his films. The success of Akin's short films gave him the edge to fund and direct his first feature film, funding the project with his earnings from acting on Generations, partnering with his friend and cheerleader Hakim Kai Kazim as a lead actor and producer of the film. In 1999, Akin went on to write the script for God is African, and a year later he took a leap of faith and a gamble by investing 60,000 rand to film the project God is African, starring his friend Hakim. Most of the filming was done in the afternoon, if not by nighttime, because it was a low-budget film and no one was getting paid, and the majority of the crew, including cast, had day jobs, which explains the long wait before releasing the film. God is African premiered in 2003, and this safe approach and a leap of faith would pay off because the film was well received and it made him a healthy return in profit. God is African has an IMDb rating of 7.2 out of 10, which makes it a must-watch film. After the success of his first feature film, God is African, Akin was now a junior director but still active as an actor playing Kaya Motene on Generations. But that would change when Akin was hired to direct the television series Soul City. Robbie Thorpe, who was one of the producers at Curious Pictures at that time, hired Akin to direct 4 episodes of the TV series, and that's when the two instantly became bros because of sharing similar interests and having the same passion for filmmaking. Robbie would introduce Khomotso Matsunyane to the mix, and the rest was history. This friendship would bring to the world Tom Pictures, which stood for Thorpe Omotoso Matsunyane Pictures, and it went on to give us memorable, successful television programming like Late Night with Khomotso, Nomzamo, Gathering the Scattered Cousins, and a place called Home, which went on to inspire the award-winning film Vaya. After a successful run, Tom Pictures was dissolved, but Robbie and Akin continued working together, and the two started Fifi Pictures with the aim of producing quality international product with a focus on the African continent. Akin has been making films for more than 20 years, collaborating on many of his projects with his family members, and in his own words, they are his biggest cheerleaders and his first audience to critique him. Akin went on to explain in an interview that his mom would be the one reading his scripts, conceptual ideas, and Yowande, her sister, would do the same thing of involving everyone by sending the family her books to read before publishing them. I personally believe that teaming up with his family in the process of making his projects helped him make conscious creative decisions, because film and television play a major role in shaping and influencing societal behavior and human character. Akin Omotoso is one of the few public figures in the entertainment business who has managed to keep his personal life private. Not much is available, well, actually nothing is available online. No video interview or publication had asked him if he was married, divorced, or have kids. I guess the only lip-burning topic needs to be about how he continues to inspire other filmmakers or what's his next project, not who he sleeps next to. Since 1995, Akin has had more screen time performing in front of the camera than performing on stage to a live audience, making cameo appearances on international film productions like A Reasonable Man, Operation Delta Force 5 Random Fire, Lord of War, Blood Diamond, The Three Investigators and Secret of Skeleton Island, and not forgetting Shake Hands with the Devil. Akin would also go on to where the directors had early in his career by making films and documentaries to advance his filmmaking skills. That hard work would pay off because in 2007, Akin would go on to win the Standard Bank Young Artist Award in the film category.
That's why I was saying what the award did was one, it, what's the word when people, it sort of meant that...
Legitimized.
That's the word I'm looking for. So then people were like, he won the Standard Bank Award. And that allowed me to raise the money, like I said, for Jesus and the Giant. And it allowed me to raise the money for Man on Ground. And those two projects, especially Man on Ground, which did very well, was a way in which these other projects were able to
come out.
So definitely winning was very helpful.
Akin Omotoso continued making strides in his craft, carefully straddling the line between actor and director, and his contributions to film and television were instrumental in advancing the representation of African stories on screen. He also went on to direct the television series Jacob's Cross between 2007 and 2013. Then in 2010 he began working on Tell Me Sweet Something, which earned him a Best Director award at the 2016 Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards in Lagos State. Then followed his 2016 film Vaya, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival and was also well received, and continued making its rounds around the festival circuit before earning him the Africa Movie Academy Award for Best Director. In 2018, Akin directed The Color of Wine, which is a documentary that traces the 300-year history of winemaking in South Africa, with a focus on post-apartheid challenges and the growing number of black winemakers who were previously excluded and are now making superior internationally acclaimed wines. Akin's name must have been on the lips of top producers, distributors, if not executives, because all of his hard work and contributions to the arts would pay off because Hollywood came knocking. For its 2020 class, the Academy Awards, popularly known as the Oscars, would send out invites to 819 artists and executives, out of which 45% were women, 36% were underrepresented ethnic racial communities, and 49% were international from 68 countries. And among those to make the invites were Nigeria's very own veteran actress Genevieve Naji and film director Akin Omotoso, as well as Cynthia, a Nigerian-born British actress. Well, as for the busy man, what bro has been up to lately is that he continues being a guest speaker at film schools. He lends his voice for voiceovers and does interviews here and there when he has time, promoting his 2022 biographical sports drama film called Rise, produced by Disney. Rise is based on the true story of 4 young Nigerian Greek brothers who immigrate to the United States and rise to fame and success within the NBA. You can watch the film on Disney+, or if you're lucky, you can catch Akin at First Thursday's movie screening at Atlas Studios. Well, that's it from me. This is the end of our video. I know everything may feel a bit rushed, but hopefully you were able to know about Akin Omotoso in a few minutes, which in reality is never enough to summarize a man's life story in a few sentences, especially punch and cream.